Sound when I do it, yes. Okay, so can you guys make another Cartesian plane? And if you guys could have your voices low as we are recording this for people who have missed this lesson. And we've got our y-axis again and our x-axis that we need to put in. And don't forget to put in your units. All right. Okay, so this one is going to be somewhat straightforward. We talked last time about reflecting on either the x-axis the y-axis. So if y equaled 0, we would be here. So I'll put that in, y equals 0. If we had y equals -3 or -2, say, we would have it there. Y equals +3 would be up here. Then if we actually flipped it and we had x equals 0, we're actually doing our reflections on this side, and then positive x equals 1, x equals 2, x equals 3, x equals -1, -2, -3, and so forth. But what happens when I present this to you? So what happens when I say, well, first of all, let's make a shape. Let's make a shape first before I say what happens. So we're going to plug a shape in here. I'm going to do a right-angled triangle, and we know the points, so we can put the points in here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, so that's the x. 1, 2 is y, so that's a. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 3 and 5. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 and 5. All right. So B and C. So this is going to be an interesting shape that we're going to do here. We're going to do a reflection here, but it's going to be on an angle. And it's going to be a bit messy too. So I'm wondering if I should redo this one. I'm thinking I might, but you know what? Why don't we do, we could do the opposite. Okay, so we knew from a lesson back in the fall that when we did patterning, that this is what our table of values looks like. When we have x and y, if we have a value of x, then y would have a value of x, y would have a value, so on and so forth. If I was to say to you to create a reflection on y equals x, what that suggests is that when x is 1, y is also 1. When x is 2, y is also 2. When x is 3, y is also 3. So you can see why this is going to get messy in a second. Because what that means is the reflection line is going to look like this. X and y are the same. So when x is 1, y is 1. When x is 2, y is 2. When x is 3, y is 3. So my reflection line goes right through my shape, like this. That's why I said it wasn't going to be pretty. So, and then of course when x is -1, y is -1. When x is -2, y is -2. So this is what my reflection line looks like. Right? So you can imagine now that A, well, actually, I can give you guys a second to brainstorm this. where would A go?
In what case?
Where would B go? Where would C go? Or would C actually stay where it is?
C would stay where it is.
So
Okay.
you go down one,
So let's have a look at this.
and then you go that way. Oh.
So you could turn it on an angle if that helps, and you can see, this is very messy as I said, that this would simply go up here, wouldn't it? This would go reverse, and this would stay where it is. I'll do another lesson in a second where it's a bit more black and white. This might be lesson number 2. So watch. Here's what I would do. For this one, I need to get to this point here. I'll zoom right in. And then I need to do the opposite of it and go up there. So this becomes my new A1. You guys see what I did there? So for B, you guys ready for B? To get to my reflection line, I could just simply go right across like this. You see what I'm doing? And then go down to here. That's fine. Or I could do a diagonal route and go 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is my new B. This is B1. And then my C is actually still on the same thing. It doesn't move. So this is how my shape will look. I'm going to end up with, I should do it with a different color. I'm going to end up with C, and C is the same as C1. It doesn't move. Then my B to A is going to look like this. So I end up with a really odd looking reflection. And if you look at it at this angle, you can see that it looks like a reflection, right? You can see that they're the opposite. And if you look at it at this angle, you can see that they're reflected. So this is probably would be a neat assessment one to do, because when you have to do a reflection right on the actual reflection line, that's challenging. So what is our new reflection? So A1, B1, and C1. Well, we'd have to plug them in. We would have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, whoops, hold on. B1's over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So 5. And then it goes up 3. And then my C is the same. 5, 5. Okay. So we're going to do an easier one. Okay, so for the next video, I'll do an easier one. So I'll stop this one.